and let's see what we are going to do with our lesson today. Okay, so you remember that we started off with the pronunciation sounds yesterday. We spent the first, let's say, half an hour of our class yesterday talking about the long vowels and short vowels. I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys, okay? And then today we will continue with the other vowel sounds briefly. And then we'll go back to the idioms again, and I'll be giving you more new topics to talk about, and we'll have a discussion. So in the same website, as you can see in the list, we have the other vowels. Okay, so what are the other vowels? Yesterday we discussed, again, just to recap, just to repeat, the short and long vowels, right? The long vowels were the vowels like E, for example. Under certain circumstances, we pronounce it the same way that we read the letter E, like keep, keep. In the word keep, the E sound was the same, right, as letter E. Versus in the short vowels, especially if it's a consonant and then a vowel sound and then a consonant, right? CVC, as we shorten it, then we basically read it in different ways, right? In different ways. And then this is a part that we need to be careful about, basically. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at the other vowel sounds, as I said, and I'm sure you can all see my screen right now. The 5 other vowel sounds that do not fit into the category of a long vowel or short vowel category are the other U, the O sound, the ow sound, the oi sound, and ow sound. So, like I said, there's no really way to learn all of these things like by heart. It's a matter of practicing and repetition. So don't panic, don't panic. Okay. But we just need to be mindful that there are 3 categories of vowel sounds, basically the long, the short, and the other vowel sounds. So let's listen to the following sounds and words to become familiar with the pronunciation of these challenging sounds. So like we have the other U here. Let's take a look. So when you look at the word put, it's not the U sound. The name of the letter is letter U, but we're not saying put, right? We say put. So why? Because it's the sound, put. And there you go. There you go. Okay, I'm going to refresh my page because I think it did not upload everything that we are supposed to have here. Let's try again. Here we go. And then the O sound. So soon. Okay, the O sound. O sound is, for example, very easy to understand in soon. O, double O, right? And then the O sound. What's the O sound? Ah, so dog. 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 So again, we're not saying dog. We're not saying dog. We're saying dog. Pay attention. It's a R sound. My dog. It's the R sound. Okay. And then finally we have 2 more. So we have the O sound, like join. It's 2 vowel sounds. So when we look at the other vowels, as you can see, more often than not, we also have, combination of a consonant and vowel sound, or 2 vowel sounds like OO, OI, or AW, or OW, right? So that's why they can be a bit more complicated to understand. So the last one is out, down, down, out, down. So put, soon, dog, join, down. So when you look at these 5 words, and you see it on the right, on the top right, right? So you see the sound, you see the keyword. You can relate to how different vowel sounds that do not fit in the category of long or short, let's say, vowels can be understood by simply, paying attention to these 5 extra categories, right? And the other U, the OO sound, the A sound, the OE sound, and the O sound, right? So these are the sounds that we categorize as other vowel sounds, Excellent. Any questions about this slide? Any questions about this slide? If not, we can take a look at the introduction to approximates. What are these? So the 4 English approximate sounds, L, R, W, and Y, are created by constructing the vocal tract slightly, but not so much that the air becomes turbulent as it passes through. So the tip of the tongue is pressed against the middle of the tooth ridge, and the air is always allowed to pass freely along the sides of the tongue. I. So, okay, I know it's a lot of description, okay? So, and we're not going to, let's say, panic, like I said. The only thing that I want you to do is when you make the I sound, pay attention to what happens inside your mouth. When you make the I sound, you press your tongue inside, right, towards the middle ridges of your tongue and your mouth, basically. And then there's an opening in your mouth. I. So it's an open movement of the mouth when you say I. R. So in R, the back of the tongue is bunch high, so the sides of the tongue touch the back side of the teeth, right? So R. When you do the R sound, pay attention. You can definitely feel what the description is saying. R. So as you pay attention, these are different movements, different vocal movements, right? So this is the exercise that you should be doing because these sounds are not the same as in your native tongue. That's why we are repeating all of these, let's say, phonetical, explanations, and that's why we are repeating all of these because there is a difference between your native tongue and the sounds that we have in English. So the more we practice, all you have to do is like literally come to these slides, okay, when you have time, and then try to exercise with your mouth by doing what the description is saying so that we can make sure that you say the letter I the proper way. You say the letter R the proper way, or W. Lips are made into a small circle, and the back of the tongue is lifted. V, the V sound, the W sound, and a Y sound, right? Like yellow, yellow. The tongue blade is pressed very close to the back of the tooth ridge. So yellow. When I say yellow, or when I say war, or the world. So you can basically practice by repeating certain words. Try to maybe pick the words that start with these letters instead of having these letters in the middle of the words. So that way you can have a clear idea if I say red or if I say yesterday. So you very easily will figure out that we are doing different vocal movements, with our mouth. So let's listen to the following sounds. Ah, okay. Next sound. Next sound. Oo sound, right? And E sound. So again, lemon, red, world, yellow. Some examples here. And closely related to R are the 4 R-controlled vowels. So this is a subcategory. Basically, when we talk about the letter R, we do have also some other vowel sounds that are controlled with R. R. So schwar, or, and air. Air, R, ear, R. So, okay, again, I know this is a lot of information. I don't want to confuse you. We'll just read the information, and then the rest is basically you coming up with some words and repeating. Just keeping in mind that, you cannot pronounce these letters as they exist in your native tongue. This is the thing, right? We have to make a little bit of an effort in order to pronounce them the correct way. So the R sound, essentially a syllabic R, and R that creates a syllable. The other 3 R-controlled vowels are a combination of a vowel and a sound of an R. So there are other options besides the primary ones described above for creating R and I, but we will be learning about these later. So semi-vowels, v and I. How are they semi-vowels? Because when we try to pronounce these consonants, you also hear a little bit of a vowel sound, right? It's not just a consonant V and I. There's like in Y, there's like an E sound, or in V, there's like an AI or EI sound. So there are variations. Basically, the way we read the consonants can sound like as if we are reading them together with some vowels. Okay, any questions? No? So the V and E are called semi-vowels because although the vocal tract is relatively unrestricted during the formation of both of these sounds, they are not syllabic, meaning they do not force a syllable to occur. So another vowel-like quality of these 2 sounds is that the 2 sound vowels, also called the diphthongs, include a sound that is nearly identical to a V or E in their pronunciation. So in American English, 2 sound vowels include the following: E, A, O, U, A, and O. So long A, long I, long O, long U, and the OE sound and the A sound. Again, I'm repeating myself because I know you might be looking at the screen like with bulging eyes and scared. Don't. We are just looking at these details for you to have an idea. Okay, the rest is about repetition and practice. Then we have the syllabic consonants, meaning, when we pronounce these consonants, they become a syllable in a word. A syllabic consonant is a consonant sound that becomes a base sound of a syllable, while A is always a syllabic and can occur on either a stressed or unstressed syllable. It is only possible to have a syllabic I on an unstressed syllable. Okay, we'll look at those details later on. We will have more, let's say, slides that cover these topics more in detail, okay? Finally, today, we're gonna look at voiced and unvoiced sounds. What are they? Although approximants are voiced when they occur after unvoiced stops, K, T, P, as in the words crash, play, twin. The approximant begins as an unvoiced sound, and the vocal cords begin to vibrate during the production of the sound. Non-native speakers who have difficulty with these types of consonant clusters often accidentally add an additional voice sound between the stop and approximant. For example, it's very common for people who speak Italian to add an E sound at the end of T. There are many examples depending on the native tongue. Okay, learning to delay voicing avoids the possibility of an accidental vowel sound and the companion unwanted syllable. So I think you don't really have this problem in general as native speakers of Sri Lankan language, but we just need to pay attention, basically. Okay, so today we covered the other vowel sounds, which are 5, right? and we started looking at the approximants. Basically, they are the sounds that we create by constricting the vocal tract slightly. We close our mouth slightly, like R, V, and E sound, right? So these are called approximants. And within the approximants, with the R, there's a subcategory of R-controlled vowels, and 4 of them. And then we looked at the semi-vowels, the syllabic consonants, and the voice and unvoiced sounds. All together, it's a wrap. So in the following lessons, next week, we will continue with the R-controlled vowels in detail. And then we'll take a look at the stops, the affricates, the fricatives, and the nasal sounds. Now, again, I want to clarify, what do we do with all of this information? We need to, you can go online, you can go to YouTube, or you can just continue with the slide, with this website. And there are exercises that you can do by practicing your movements, depending on the sound, depending on the letter, depending on the word that you are pronouncing. You can try to pay attention to the details and make certain sounds according to the rule. That would be basically a phonetical, basically a pronunciation exercise, and it would be good exercise for speaking, for the most part. Speaking accurately and speaking in an articulate way is one thing. Speaking correctly and when it comes to pronunciation, it's another thing. And paying attention to the accent, that's another thing. So there are different components of speaking. And the more you practice, you'll see that the better you'll get. Okay. Now, let's continue with our idioms. Unless you have any questions about the pronunciation part. I'm going to start sharing my screen once again. Remember, if you are an enrolled student, you want to go to the portal, right, to the dashboard, and then make sure you sign up. And that way, you can basically see all of the course material, right? So here we go. I think we stopped here. Shoot off one's mouth. Shoot off one's mouth. What does that mean? Shooting off one's mouth. Any guesses? Is there anyone who'd like to guess?
Express their opinion loudly.
You are explaining your ideas, in a loud way. So would you like to go ahead and read?
Yes. Express one's opinions loudly. Jim doesn't play tennis very much, but he's always shooting off his mouth about how good he is. Yet he is fooling nobody. Jim is somewhat of a braggart without knowing all the facts and think the game.
Okay, I think we read this line yesterday indeed, so but it's good to repeat, right? So he's bragging, he's talking as if he knows the best, he knows everything, so that is shooting off one's mouth. Thank you. Very quickly, I want to take a look at who we have right now, by the way, in our participant list. So we got Jerome, we got Mr. Ansh, Sarojini, Shaika is here, Tarusha, hello. We got Tarusha, Tevaki is here. Hello, Tevaki. And we have Indika, if you can hear me. All right. So let's see over here. Okay, let's go back to our slides. And the next one is jump down someone's throat. Jump down someone's throat. You're jumping down in my throat. Any guesses?
Shouting at someone or responding very angrily?
Responding very angrily. Become very angry with someone. Perfect. Mr. Ansh, would you like to read this one?
That's it. Greg, you'd better not come in after midnight again tonight. I know, Dad, you don't have jumped down my throat. I told you that I'd make it home around 11:30. I don't intend to be late. Well, you said that before and you come at 2:30 in the morning. You can't blame me for getting angry and scolding you. I've got good reason.
Uh-huh. Thank you. So scold is like speak angrily also, right? Basically you are kind of like speaking angrily. So altogether, jump down on someone's throat, jump down on someone's throat is like to become angry with that person, right? You're pissed off. You're pissed off. You're crossed with that person. That's more British. We don't use that in America, but to be cross, to be angry, to be pissed off. We use that a lot in the States, to be pissed off. Excellent. Pay through the nose. That's a very common one. We use this a lot. Pay through the nose. What's this one?
Send to money expenses.
When it's really expensive, when you pay a lot of money, you're paying through the nose. It's like, look at the elephant, a spreading bunch of cash, right? So you pay too high a price in this case. It is very expensive. Tertia, would you like to go ahead and read this one, please?
Sure. At least Mr. Smith came upon the rare stamp he had been seeking at an auction, since many others would be bidding for it. He realized that he would have to pay through the nose in order to have it. After considering the increasing value of the stamp, he decided that he would not mind paying such a high price for something so rare.
Thank you, Tertia. So at last, finally, Mr. Smith came upon the rare stamp that he had been seeking at an auction. So he paid through the nose in order to have it. He paid a high price, but he was willing to do that. He was okay to do that. So pay through the nose means to pay a lot of money, a high price. Tongue in cheek.
Income.
What's that?
I mean,
your tongue is in your cheek.
Income.
Yeah, you're not serious, right? Tongue in cheek, you're not serious. You're just kind of like, you're just talking nonsense, maybe, right? So that means it's not serious. I'm gonna go ahead and read this one. Why were you teasing Sonia about her new hairdo? She really took offense at what you said. I didn't mean to offend her. I was simply making a tongue-in-cheek remark when I said that it was too elaborate for a girl of her young, tender age. Well, she thought you were serious. She had no idea that you were just saying that as a joke. So I'm really sorry. I suppose I owe her an apology. So the person was making this comment as a tongue-in-cheek remark, but of course the person took it seriously, right? So, the guy was not serious, but it was a joke, basically. He was just teasing, right? He was just teasing. It was a joke. He was not serious. It was a tongue-in-cheek remark. But the outcome is that the other person, or in that case, Sonia, took it seriously and got offended. Excellent. So this one is tongue-in-cheek. Pull one's leg. Pull someone's leg. This is a very common one. Very common one.
Somebody's like stupid works.
You're right. Don't pull my leg, or I'm pulling your leg. It's like, fooling someone. Basically, it's like you're teasing someone. You're making kind of like a joke, right? You're just being, again, unserious. You're not being serious. So you're fooling someone. So, Jaron, would you like to read this one?
Fool someone. Hey, AI. I was invited to be a judge for the Miss America Beauty pageant. Oh, really? Come on. You are pulling my leg. No, honestly. Do you really think that I'm trying to fool you with a ridiculous story? Well, you have told me foolish stories before. I can assure you that this one is for.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jairam. So, hey, all is a name like Albert. So you're pulling my leg. You're pulling my leg, right? Basically, you are fooling me. You're fooling me, and I'm trying to fool you with a. Do you really think that I'm fooling you with a ridiculous story? So, am I trying to make a fool of you, fool you? Okay, perfect. Play it by ear. This is a very common one. Super, super, super common one. So what do you think about this one? Any guesses about play it by ear?
When we decided to doing something, I think learn and do. We should learn and do.
No. No, nice try though. We would say hot but not burning. That's another expression. No. Play it by ear is like, hey, shall we meet? Huh? Can I repeat?
Spontaneously?
Yes.
Reacting
yes.
to the situation spontaneously?
Excellent. Yes. So you are basically being spontaneous. You're not making a plan. Hey, shall we meet at 8? Shall we meet at 9? Shall we meet at 10? You're like, hey, let's just play it by ear. Let's just talk later and decide. Or where are we meeting? At the cafe, in front of the theater, in front of the school. And let's just play it by ear and we'll figure it out. So you're improvising, right? You go along with the flow as spontaneous. Shahika, can you hear me, Shahika?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Would you like to read this one, please?
Yeah, sure, sir. Let's
Thank
go
you.
to the movies. Agreed. Sure. And what I'll do after that? Oh, I don't know. Let's play it by ear. Well, I would like to have more definite plan of action. Don't be like that. It's always more fun not knowing what to expect and deciding what to do as we go along.
Excellent. Thank you, Shaika. So yes, let's play it by ear. It is more fun, being spontaneous. You're kind of like, not planning everything, not deciding on everything. This is a very commonly used idiom, play it by ear. So feel free to use it, with your friends, when you speak, when you write, you can use that. Next one is stick out one's neck. Look at the giraffe. So stick out one's neck. What's that mean?
Keep risk.
Huh?
Keep risk.
Yes. Taking risks. Taking risks. Excellent. So you see these alligators down there, and look at these two people on the neck of the giraffe, right? So if you're sticking out your neck, it means that you're taking a risk. Excellent. So who would like to read? Any volunteers? Sarajini, are you here? Indika, are you here? Can you hear me? Sarajini, Indika, Tevaki, are you here, Tevaki?
Yeah,
Would you like
yes,
to go
sir.
ahead and read this one, please? Thank you.
Yeah. How come they asking me to act as their guide through the jungle? Evidently, they think you are the only one who can lead them to the evidently
Lost
temple. That jungle has danger lurking around every corner. Why should I stick my neck out for them? They didn't pay me for my services. They know that you would be taking a great risk and could possibly get hurt, but you are the only one with enough knowledge to take them to their destination. I'm sure you will amply
You will
rewarded.
be amply, like a lot. You'll be rewarded a lot, amply rewarded. Thank you very much, Tabaki. So stick my neck out for them. How come they're asking me to act as their guide through the jungle? Evidently, they think you are the only one who can lead them to the lost temple. And that jungle has danger lurking around every corner. Why should I stick my neck out for them? They don't pay me for my services. Well, they know that you would be taking a great risk and could possibly get hurt, but you're the only one with enough knowledge to take them to their destination. So I'm sure you'll be amply rewarded if you do that. Wow, taking a risk through the jungle. So stick your neck out, or stick out your neck. You can use it both ways. Shake a leg. Shake a leg.
Doing fast.
Shake your legs. Go fast. Come on, shake your legs. Go fast. Not like a turtle, not like a snail. Right? Okay. Mr. Rash, you want to go ahead and read this one?
Yeah, sure, sir. Mary, you always take such a long time to put on your makeup. Come on, shake a leg. I'll be finished in a minute. Be patient. You got to hurry or else we won't arrive on time to the last show.
Okay, thank you, Ansh. Oh, somebody is calling you with persistence. Okay.
No, sir. It's not mine.
Now? Yeah, I mean, somebody's calling someone with persistence. So thank you, Ansh. Mary, you always take such a long time to put on your makeup. Come on, shake a leg. Hurry up. Be quick. You know, chop, chop. I'll be finished in a minute. Be patient. You got to hurry, or else we won't arrive on time to see the last show. Okay, so to shake a leg means to hurry. It's very easy. Old thumbs. Old thumbs. You're not using your other fingers, your toes, your old thumbs. You know my thumb is this finger, right? So my thumb finger, my index finger, okay, I don't want to show it, but it's my middle finger, my ring finger, and the pinky, as we call it. So we got 5 different fingers, and then we got our toes on our feet, right? So old thumbs, what does that mean?
Uncoordinating things.
Yeah, you're clumsy. Old thumbs means that you're being clumsy. You know, you hit around, you break things. You're like, oh, you know, you just don't know how to manage. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and read this one. Hey, Bear, can you help me out? I don't seem to be able to button up the back of my dress. Sure. Let's see if I can do it for you. I guess I'm old thumbs because I'm so nervous. I'm already late for my date. Well, I suppose that being so nervous would make you clumsy and awkward. But don't worry, I'm sure your date will wait. So your old thumbs is like, you know, you're a mess. You don't know what you're doing. You're not organized. You're clumsy. You're kind of being, you know, nervous and awkward and all of that. You're just kind of like, you know, not in your element. You're freaking out. You're freaking out. That's what it means. And you might be hitting things and breaking things. You don't know how to button up the back of your dress yourself. You need help. So these are all part of the definition. So not have a leg to stand on. You don't have a leg to stand on. Oh, look at that. Look at that guy. Doesn't have legs. What does that mean? Not have a leg to stand on. Any ideas?
Without support.
So when you don't have a leg to stand on, it means that you don't have a proper argument. You don't have substantial justification on something. You are, you know, basically, you don't have any strong foundation on your ideas, right? So you don't have good defense for your opinions, for your actions. Yeah, your opinion is weak. Your opinion is not strong. That's what it means, that you don't have a leg to stand on. Okay, Kalani, so I will ask you to read this one. To have no good defense for one's opinions or actions. Please, you want to go ahead and read this one, Kalani? Kalani, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I will. Tom maintains that the firm moves him some bad praises for having worked overtime. However, he won't have a leg to stand on unless he can prove that he put in all those extra hours. He doesn't stand a chance of getting his money without a strong foundation of facts to support his position.
Excellent. Thank you, Kalani. So yes, he won't have a leg to stand on if he cannot prove that he put in all those extra hours. So, he needs to have a strong foundation of evidence and facts to support his situation. Otherwise, he won't have a leg to stand on. Okay, let's do a couple more. Get off someone's back. Get off my back. Get off my back. You're bothering me. You're bothering me. You're annoying me. Get off my back, like you're an extra burden that I'm carrying. You're bothering me. You're disturbing me. You're annoying me. Stop bothering me. Get off my back. Get off my back. Hey, John, I'm bored. Come on, let's go out and do something. Sorry, I'm right in the middle of studying for a physics exam. I won't be able to make it tonight. You've been studying for a long time. Why don't you take a break? Come on, let's go. Forget studying for a while. Look, get off my back. I can't go anywhere. Okay, I'll stop bothering you, only if you promise to let me know the minute you're finished. So, okay, here's a conversation between two friends, and one of them wants to go out. The other one has to sit down and study for a physics exam, right? And the one who has to study is basically telling the other guy, hey, you know what? Stop bothering me. I got to sit down and study. Get off my back.